The Galactic Empire had grown strong over many centuries, controlling countless stars and worlds. They had never faced a challenge like Earth before. In a large room filled with shining lights and holographic maps, Admiral Luke Bennett stood firm, watching the stars beyond the thick windows of the command tower. His fleet was the pride of the Empire, a great power in space, ready to crush any enemy. Suddenly, a message came through the communication system. It was from an alien diplomat named Lydia Carter. She spoke calmly but firmly. "Attack humans. At your own risk, they will burn your empire to ashes." Admiral Bennett frowned. He did not like threats, especially from a small alien like Lydia. The Empire had faced many enemies and always won, he said to his officers. This is nothing but fear. Prepare the fleet for battle. Far away on Earth, Captain Jake Morgan was busy in the control room of his ship, the Valiant Star. It was a large warship, stronger than any the Empire had seen. It had been built long ago by humans, then improved with new technology. Jake looked at the stars through the ship's window. He had heard about the Empire's warning, but he was calm. He knew Earth was ready. "We will protect our home no matter what," he said quietly. Lydia Carter was on Earth too, but she did not look like an enemy. She worked with humans secretly, sharing knowledge about the Empire. She knew the Empire was strong, but she also knew humans were clever and brave. The message Lydia sent was a warning, not just a scare. She wanted the Empire to understand that humans would fight hard and not give up easily. But the Empire did not listen. The next day, the Empire's fleet moved closer to Earth's colonies in space. Their ships were huge and powerful. They wanted to take control quickly. Captain Morgan received news of the approaching fleet. He called his officers together. "This will be the first test. We must stand strong," he said. The crew of the Valiant Star prepared weapons, shields, and engines. They worked fast and with care. Everyone knew the battle would be difficult. Meanwhile, Lydia met with Earth's leaders in a quiet room. The Empire believes they can win with force, but they do not know the true strength of humans, she said. Her eyes were full of hope. The leaders listened, trusting Lydia's words. They knew Earth's technology was good, but the spirit of the people was their greatest weapon. As the Empire's ships drew near, Captain Morgan gave his orders. "Form up, stay alert, and use every advantage we have." The two fleets faced each other near a field of asteroids. The Empire fired first, sending powerful beams of energy toward Earth's ships. But Earth's warships moved quickly, dodging and fighting back. The Valiant Star led the charge, its shields glowing brightly against the attacks. Captain Morgan's crew worked together like a well-oiled machine. Their training showed in every move. They fired back with strong laser cannons and launched small fighter ships to confuse the enemy. The battle was fierce, but Earth's ships held their ground. The Empire was surprised by the human skill and courage. Lydia watched from a nearby ship, communicating with Earth's commanders. She helped them by sending information about the Empire's fleet. "They are weaker on the left side. Focus your attack there," she said. Captain Morgan listened and changed his plan, targeting the weak points in the Empire's defenses. Slowly, the tide of the battle began to turn. The Empire's Admiral Bennett was angry. He did not expect such resistance. He ordered his ships to retreat for now. But he promised this was only the beginning. On Earth, Captain Morgan breathed a sigh of relief, but he knew the fight was far from over. "We have shown them we are not weak, but they will come back," he said. Lydia smiled. "Humans have a fire inside them that no one can put out," she said. Her warning was true, and the Empire would soon learn that the hard way. The stars shone quietly above the warships as they prepared for what was to come. The battle for the galaxy was just starting, and Earth was ready to burn bright against any enemy. The Galactic Empire did not wait long to act after their first failed attack. Their massive warships moved swiftly toward Earth's outer colonies, determined to take control with force. Captain Jake Morgan stood on the bridge of the Valiant Star, watching the stars through the thick glass. He could see the dark shapes of the Empire's ships growing closer. Their weapons were ready, and their engines glowed with power. Jake turned to his officers. "We must fight smart, not just with strength, but with skill," he said. "We will show them humans are not easy to defeat." The crew worked quickly, checking all systems, preparing their weapons, and making sure every fighter pilot was ready. The Valiant Star was the strongest ship, but the real power was the people on board. Lydia Carter was with them, still working in secret. "The Empire's fleet is large, but they have weaknesses," she said. "They rely too much on their big ships. Smaller, faster fighters can confuse them." Jake nodded. "Then we will use every advantage, every chance we get." The two fleets met again near a belt of floating asteroids. The Empire fired first, sending heavy blasts of energy, but this time, Earth's ships were ready. The Valiant Star moved fast, dodging attacks while firing back with powerful lasers. Small fighter ships flew out from the fleet, weaving through the asteroid field to attack the Empire's weaker ships. The battle was loud and bright, with beams of light crossing the dark space. Explosions shook the stars, and ships spun out of control and fell. Jake focused on the fight, giving orders clearly and quickly. "Cover the left wing. Protect the transports. Push forward." His voice was calm but strong. The Empire's commanders were surprised by Earth's speed and tactics. Their large ships could not move well in the asteroid belt, giving humans an edge. Lydia worked closely with Jake, sending messages about enemy movements. "3 enemy fighters are trying to flank you on the right," she warned. "Prepare for a surprise attack." Jake adjusted the fleet's formation, sending fighters to meet the threat. The fight became a dance of ships, fast and dangerous, each side trying to outsmart the other. After hours of battle, Earth's fleet began to gain ground. They destroyed several Empire warships and protected their colonies well. But the Empire was not finished. Admiral Luke Bennett watched the fight from his command ship, his face dark with anger. "Humans fight like wild animals, but we have numbers and firepower," he said. "We will crush them soon." The Empire launched a new weapon, a huge beam that could cut through any shield. It aimed directly at the Valiant Star. Jake saw the beam coming and ordered an emergency move. The Valiant Star spun hard, dodging the deadly light by a small margin. The ship's shields glowed brightly as they absorbed some damage. The crew worked together to repair the ship quickly. Their training and skill kept the Valiant Star alive. But Jake knew the battle was still dangerous. Lydia spoke again. "The Empire fears your ship because it is not just a machine. It is a symbol of human strength and hope." Jake smiled. "Then we will keep fighting with all we have." The battle continued into the night, with neither side giving up. Earth's warships pushed the Empire back, protecting their colonies and people. The Empire's large fleet was powerful but slow and not ready for the humans' speed and cleverness. Finally, the Empire decided to retreat. Their ships pulled back into the dark depths of space. But Jake knew this was only the beginning. "We have won this fight, but the war is far from over," he told his crew. "We must be ready for what comes next." Lydia agreed. "Humans have fire inside them, and that fire will burn brighter." With every challenge on Earth, people watched the stars nervously but with hope. Their protectors were strong, and their courage was greater. The galaxy was watching, and humans were ready to stand tall. Captain Jake Morgan stood on the bridge of the Valiant Star, watching the stars flicker past. His ship was a powerful machine, but it was more than that. It was a symbol of human strength and hope, rebuilt from an ancient design and improved. With new technology, the Valiant Star had special defenses. Stronger than most warships, its shields could absorb heavy fire, and its weapons were precise and deadly. But Jake knew it was not just the ship that made them strong. It was the people inside it. Dr. Ava Collins, the chief scientist, worked in the lab below decks. She was responsible for many of the ship's upgrades. Using alien technology found in old wrecks, she had created new weapons and shield systems that gave Earth an advantage. Ava was proud of the ship and the crew, but she worried about the Empire's next move. Their power is great, but they are not ready for how fast we can change, she told Jake one day. Our strength is in our mind as well as our ships, Jake smiled. That is what makes us different. He said, we don't give up, we find a way to win. Meanwhile, Lydia Carter was still working closely with Earth's commanders. She had been watching humans for a long time and saw something no one else did. Humans had a special kind of courage and creativity that was hard to beat. Lydia explained to the leaders of Earth, your people have survived many dangers. They learn and adapt faster than any other species I know. The Empire underestimates you. The leaders listened carefully. They trusted Lydia's words because she was not just a diplomat, but a friend. She helped them plan their next moves, sharing secret knowledge about the Empire's weaknesses. One secret was the Empire's reliance on their large warships. These ships were powerful but slow and hard to repair. They could not move well in dangerous places like asteroid fields or nebulae. Jake and his crew used this knowledge to their advantage. The Valiant Star led small squads of fast fighters, darting in and out of tight spaces to confuse the enemy. They struck quickly and then disappeared. During a training session, Jake told his pilots, speed and surprise will win this fight, remember. The Empire is strong but not as smart as we are. The pilots smiled, ready for the challenge. They loved flying fast and working together as a team. One day, during a scouting mission, Jake's ship found an old Empire ship floating near a destroyed planet. It was badly damaged but still held valuable technology. Jake ordered his team to board the ship, carefully moving through the dark halls. They found important data about the Empire's plans and weapons. This discovery gave Earth an important advantage back on the Valiant Star. The crew studied the data and prepared new weapons based on what they learned. The ship's systems were upgraded again, making it even stronger. Jake felt proud but knew the fight was not over. The Empire would come back with more force, and Earth had to be ready. Lydia sent another warning to the Empire. Humans are not what you think. They are strong and smart. If you attack again, you will face a force you cannot defeat, Admiral. Luke Bennett read the message with frustration. He did not want to believe it, but he saw his fleet losing ground. We must find a way to stop them, or our empire will fall, he said, in space. The Valiant Star and its fleet continued their patrols, ready to protect Earth and its colonies. The crew trained every day, becoming stronger and more skilled. They knew the future of humanity depended on them. Captain Morgan often looked at the stars and thought about the battles ahead. He was not just a captain, but a symbol of hope for his people. We will fight for our home and our future, he said quietly. The galaxy was changing, and Earth was no longer a small world to be ignored. It was becoming a great power, and the Empire was learning that the hard way. The news of Earth's strong defense and clever tactics spread quickly through the Empire. In the great halls of the Galactic Council, leaders gathered to decide what to do next. Ambassador Lydia Carter spoke clearly. Humans are not the weaklings you think. They have strength and courage beyond your understanding. Attacking them could destroy your empire. Some leaders listened carefully, fearing the truth in Lydia's words. Others were proud and angry, believing their great fleet was enough to win any war. They argued and debated late into the night. Meanwhile, on Earth, scientists were working hard to improve their technology. Dr. Ava Collins led a team that had developed a new weapon system, one that could change the balance of power. The new weapon was called the pulse cannon. It could send strong bursts of energy that disrupted enemy shields and systems. The first tests were promising, but it had to be used carefully. Captain Jake Morgan watched the tests with interest. If this weapon works, it could help us win the war faster, he said. But we must be smart in how we use it, Lydia shared secret information about the Empire's ships with Ava and Jake. Their largest ships have weak points near the engine rooms. If you can strike there, you can disable them quickly. The team worked day and night, fitting the pulse cannons on the Valiant Star and other warships. The fleet was becoming stronger and more ready for battle. In the Galactic Council, some leaders grew worried. "We must try to make peace with humans before it is too late," one said. "Their fire will burn us all." But the Empire's emperor was determined to conquer Earth. He believed victory was still possible with more power and force. He ordered Admiral Bennett to prepare for a new attack, one that would crush Earth's defenses back on Earth. Captain Morgan and Lydia prepared their forces. "We have to be ready for anything," Jake said. "They will come with everything they have." The humans trained hard, learning to use the pulse cannon and new tactics. Fighter pilots practiced flying fast and striking in groups. Engineers worked to repair ships quickly after battles. The Valiant Star became a symbol of hope for the people of Earth. Its glowing shields and strong weapons inspired all who fought for their home. One day, the Empire's fleet appeared near Nova Station, a key outpost in space. The battle began with loud blasts and bright lights. The pulse cannons fired for the first time in combat. Captain Morgan ordered his ships to attack the weak points on the enemy's large ships. The pulse cannons sent powerful bursts of energy, causing explosions and disabling several enemy engines. The Empire's fleet was shocked by the new weapon. Their large warships lost power one by one. Fighters from Earth darted through the fight, hitting hard and fast. Lydia helped by sending messages to confuse the enemy's communications. "They cannot coordinate well. Use this to your advantage," she said. The battle was fierce, but Earth's fleet held strong. The Empire's flagship was damaged badly and forced to retreat. The victory was great, but costly. Captain Morgan looked at his crew and said, "We did well, but this war will not end here. We must keep fighting and be ready for what comes next." Lydia nodded. "Humans have shown the galaxy their true power. The Empire will think twice before attacking again." The stars shone quietly after the battle, but both sides knew the war was far from over. Earth was rising, and the Empire had to face a new kind of enemy. The battle near Nova Station was one of the fiercest the galaxy had ever seen. Earth's fleet, led by Captain Jake Morgan and the Valiant Star, faced the Empire's massive warships head-on. The dark space was lit up with beams of light, explosions, and energy bursts. Jake gave clear orders. "Keep formation tight. Focus fire on the enemy's weak spots. Protect the station at all costs." His voice was calm but firm, inspiring his crew to fight harder. The Empire's ships fired powerful energy blasts, trying to break through Earth's defenses. But the pulse cannons on the Valiant Star sent back bursts that disrupted the enemy's shields and engines. Slowly, the Empire's ships began to lose power and control. Small fighter ships from Earth flew in groups, weaving through the asteroid field near the station. They attacked the Empire's weaker ships, drawing their fire and protecting the larger warships. The pilots were skilled and brave, trusting each other completely. Lydia Carter was on a nearby support ship, working to confuse the enemy's communication systems. "Their commands are mixed up. They don't know where to send reinforcements," she reported. "Use this chance to press the attack." Captain Morgan nodded. "All ships, push forward now," he ordered. The fleet surged ahead with renewed energy, their lasers and missiles hitting the Empire's ships hard. The Empire's flagship was hit by a pulse cannon burst, causing a massive explosion near its engine room. The ship shuddered and slowed, giving Earth's fighters the chance to strike again. Admiral Luke Bennett watched in anger and disbelief. "This cannot be. How are humans so strong?" he shouted. His fleet was falling apart, and his men were losing hope. The battle raged on for hours, but Earth's fleet held the upper hand. One by one, the Empire's warships were damaged or destroyed. The fighters from Earth never stopped attacking. Their determination was fierce. As the sun began to rise on distant worlds, the Empire's fleet finally began to retreat. The warships fled through the stars, leaving behind burning wrecks and defeated soldiers. Captain Morgan breathed a sigh of relief but did not celebrate. "This victory is important, but the war is not over," he reminded his crew. "We must stay ready and strong. Lydia smiled. "You have shown the galaxy that humans will fight like fire. They will burn anything that tries to harm their home." Back on Earth, people cheered when news of the battle arrived. Their protectors had won an important fight, but everyone knew more challenges were ahead. The future was uncertain, but hope was alive in quiet moments. Jake thought about the cost of war, the lives lost, the ships destroyed, but also the courage and unity that had saved them. "We will keep fighting for peace," he promised, "no matter the price." The stars shone brightly over the galaxy, lighting the path for Earth's rising power. The Empire had learned that humans were not just survivors, they were warriors, ready to defend their place among the stars. After the battle at Nova Station, the Empire was forced to rethink its strategy. Some alien groups within the Empire saw the strength and courage of humans and began to question their leaders. They wondered if war was the only way. Captain Jake Morgan and Lydia Carter saw an opportunity. They reached out to these alien factions, hoping to build a new kind of alliance, one that could help both sides survive and grow stronger together. Jake met with Zara Mitchell, a skilled pilot from one of the alien groups. She was known for her quick thinking and bravery. "We want peace, but we will fight if we must," Jake said. "Can we find a way to work together?" Zara looked at Jake carefully. "Humans are strong and determined. I respect that. Maybe together we can change the course of this war," she replied. The two sides began sharing knowledge and technology. Humans learned new ways to improve their ships and weapons. Aliens gained respect for human courage and innovation. Slowly, trust started to grow. Lydia helped by acting as a messenger between the groups. She shared secrets about the Empire's weaknesses and plans. Her work was dangerous, but she believed in a better future. The alliance was fragile, and many still doubted if it could last. But Jake and Zara worked hard to show that cooperation was possible. They held meetings, trained together, and fought side by side in small battles. On Earth, people watched this new alliance with hope. It meant that humans were not alone, that other species believed in their strength and spirit. Captain Morgan said to his crew, "This is a new chapter for us. We fight for our home, but we also fight for a future where we can all live in peace." The ships of Earth and their new allies grew stronger and faster. Their combined knowledge made their warships more powerful. Their pilots flew better and worked closer. Together, they planned their next steps against the Empire. Not just with weapons, but with diplomacy and strategy. They knew the war would be long, but they were ready. In the dark reaches of space, the Empire watched the growing alliance with concern. Admiral Bennett realized that this new force could change everything. He prepared his fleet for a harder fight ahead. But the humans and their allies were not afraid. They stood together, ready to face the challenges and defend their future. The war was no longer just a battle, it was a test of hope and unity. The humans and their new allies had grown stronger and more confident. The time had come to launch a final offensive against the Empire's main command ship. The Valiant Star led the fleet through dark space, engines blowing softly. Captain Jake Morgan stood at the bridge, his eyes focused and steady. "This is our chance to end the war and protect our home," he said quietly. "We must be careful and brave." The enemy's command ship was massive. Surrounded by many smaller warships, its shields shimmered with power, but Jake knew their weak points from the secrets Lydia and Zara had shared. They would strike where it hurt the most. The fleet moved like a shadow, silent and fast, closing in on the enemy. Fighters flew ahead, dodging lasers and missiles, clearing a path for the Valiant Star and the larger ships. The battle began with a sudden burst of fire. Lasers cut through space as ships from both sides fought fiercely. The Valiant Star fired its pulse cannons, striking the enemy's shields and engines. Admiral Luke Bennett commanded his fleet, determined to protect the command ship. His face was hard and his voice full of anger. "Destroy the humans and their allies. Leave no survivors," he ordered. Captain Morgan knew this battle would be the hardest yet. He remembered all the fights, the losses, and the hope that kept them going. For Earth and all who stand with us, he whispered. The two sides clashed in a deadly dance. Ships moved fast and fired harder. Explosions lit the dark space, debris floating where great warships once flew. Jake piloted the valiant star with skill, avoiding deadly fire and aiming at the enemy's weak points. His crew worked together, repairing damage and firing weapons with precision. Lydia's messages helped confuse the enemy. Their communications are broken. They cannot coordinate well, she reported. Use this to your advantage. Zara flew her fighter close to the command ship, dodging enemy fire. She launched a missile at the engine room, causing a huge explosion. The command ship shook and its shields faltered. Admiral Bennett's anger grew. They will pay for this, he shouted, but his fleet was losing power and control. The battle reached its peak when the valiant star fired a final pulse cannon burst at the command ship's core. A massive explosion followed, sending shockwaves through space. The command ship was destroyed. The remaining Empire ships retreated quickly, their morale broken. The galaxy had seen the power of humans and their allies. Captain Morgan stood quietly on the bridge. This victory belongs to all of us, he said. But we must stay vigilant and strong. Lydia smiled. You have changed the fate of the galaxy. Humans are no longer a small world, but a force to be respected. The stars shone brightly above as the war ended. Earth and its allies ready to build a future of peace and strength. The war was over, but the story of humans in the galaxy had just begun. The battle had ended, and the galaxy was quiet once more. Earth stood victorious, but its leaders knew this was only the beginning of a new era. Captain Jake Morgan and Lydia Carter looked out over the stars, thinking of what had happened and what was to come. The Empire's forces were broken, their great warships either destroyed or captured. The once proud Empire was now a shadow of itself, scattered and weak. But Jake knew the galaxy would not stay peaceful forever. New threats could arise from the darkness on Earth. People celebrated their hard-won freedom, but the leaders worked quietly to prepare for the future. They rebuilt their fleets, improved their technology, and strengthened their alliances. They wanted to be ready for whatever challenges came next. Captain Morgan met with Lydia one evening. We fought hard and won, but we must not forget what made us strong, he said. It was our unity, our courage, and our will to survive. Lydia nodded. Humans have a fire inside them that burns bright. It is a fire that will light the way for many in the galaxy. They will look to Earth as a beacon of hope. Together, they talked about the future, about building a galaxy where different worlds could live in peace. But they also knew it would take time, patience, and careful work. The valiant star became a symbol of this new hope, a ship that had fought through darkness and come out strong. Its crew was honored as heroes, and their story was told to inspire others. As Earth's influence grew, new ambassadors from different worlds came to meet Jake and Lydia. They spoke of friendship and trade, of sharing knowledge and culture. The galaxy was beginning to change, slowly but surely. Captain Morgan often looked up at the stars and thought of the battles fought and those yet to come. We will stand ready. We will protect our home and our allies, he said quietly. Lydia smiled. The war showed the world the true strength of humanity, not just in weapons, but in spirit, in hope, and in friendship. The galaxy was wide and full of mystery, but Earth was no longer a small, quiet planet. It was a rising star, burning bright and strong. The story of humans had only just begun, and many new adventures awaited in the endless night of space.